Hey, folks. Whew, what a day. I've got my butt kicked today. Y'all hang around, I'll tell you all about it. Well, if you saw my last video, I told you I was coming over to my farm property today. I'll explain that a little bit here. So I came over here today and started bush hogging, just like I had planned. I was off to a rough start. Bush hog been sitting in the woods for a year, hadn't been used. A little rusty, didn't want to go on. So I scraped and I oiled and I scraped and I oiled. Took me about an hour. I finally got it to go on the spline. And then I got the bush hogging. That I was off to the races for a little while. As anybody that's bush hogged old property knows, you're gonna find stuff. Well, I found a lot of stuff today, but it was expected. I was prepared. I cut it all out. Got back to the job. My property has grown up way more than I had. It's been a while since I've been here, but man, it's just getting taken over. Sweet gums, mimosa tree, well, you name it, really. A little bit of everything. So I did manage to cut my way in. As you can see, when I say I cut my way into this spot here, I cut my way in, got to my water meter. So, got access to my water now. And, well, I'll just spin you around and show you. And I cut. Got cleaned up around the old well pump. That's the original well. No, I'm lying to you. I just lied. Right here in these woods, about 20 yards, is the original well, hand dug well. And then later, that was in the 50s, and then later into the 70s, my grandfather drilled a well. So this was the original pump well. The other was a hand-drawn well, actually. So there was a house right here. The original house to the property was right here where this well pump is. I'm about right here where I'm standing is where the house was. The house burnt down. Is the original house that my grandparents moved. They didn't build it, but they bought it in the 50s. And so my dad grew up here. My dad and one of my aunts grew up on this property, and in the old house that was right here. And we changed hands here. I don't have my tripod. And then in about 79 or 80, my grandparents moved into a trailer that was, let's see, I'll show you. The trailer was just past that, on the other side of that big oak. And they gave my dad the original old farmhouse. And so that's where he and my mother lived when I was born. I came home from the hospital to the house that stood here. When I was about 6 months old, the house burnt down. And we were in it. We were asleep. My mom, my dad, my brother, and I. And just by the grace of God, any of y'all know Marcus Dupree, football player, played for the LA Rams, was a big college star up at Oklahoma. So Marcus Dupree, his dad went by the name of Black Power. Now, if you watch those 30 for 30s, Marcus Dupree was raised by his grandmother. But his dad was alive until 82. And that's, maybe it was 83 that he died. But he saved my life. Come and beat on the windows, woke my parents up. They were able to get out of the house. And so we were okay. House burnt to the ground. The old road here that I'm working on, we called this the old house. My family has called this the Old House Place Road. And it originally got its name, the first generation, like my dad and his brothers and stuff, they called it the Old House Place Road because in the 30s or 40s, there was an old house. I know it was before the 50s. There was an old house way up in the woods on the back side of our property, and this was a county road that went up to that old house. And it eventually just caved in, rotted away. But that road was called the Old House Place Road. And then after this house burnt down, all of the burnt debris, furniture, everything, this road has some washout, big ravine on one side, and I didn't, my parents, my grandparents, piled the old house place in that ravine. And so it took on a new meaning because that's where the old house actually went to. Anyhow, that's a little fun fact for you about this property. But let me go ahead and tell you. So I was born on this property. My dad was raised on this property. He wasn't born here. My dad moved here. They moved here when my dad was 5 or 6 years old. So in the 50s and 60s and 70s, this was a working farm. My grandfather plowed these fields with a mule. All the way up until just before he died. And he died in 82. I was 6 months old when he died. And so after he died, my uncle had some cows on the place for a couple of years. And I had some horses here till I was about 10. And so my horses was the last animals on this property. So it hasn't really been a farm in 35 years. But I'm bringing it back. Anyhow, I still reference it as the farm. The old barn. Now this is an old barn. This shed barn here was built in the 80s. But that's where the original barn for the property was at. Was right there. And it fell in, rotted away, got tore down, and this one was built back in its place. We had a milk cow that stayed in that barn. So anyhow, I've got several structures on this property, obviously, that someone in my family has put here over the years. We've had numerous times throughout my life. There's been different. There was a trailer here. After the house burnt, we put a trailer there, and some of my parents' really good friends put a trailer over here, and I lived in the trailer here till I was about 5, and then my parents bought the brick house on the other side of town, on the other side of the camping. But I come to bush hog, and I got some stuff accomplished. There's old barn down there, shed. It's not a barn, right there. It's not a. It was a. We actually had a rental trailer there, and that was there. The renters built them a little shed shop building there. And now there's nobody renting on the property anymore. But I didn't get as far as I wanted to today. I worked hard at it. I got probably about 7 acres bush hog. I tried to get back into the woods and between trees and under stuff, and it was high. This stuff was waist high. This stuff was waist high. But there's old truck down there. Property's in several sections. This is old volleyball net from old renter. They haven't been here in several years, so that volleyball net's holding up pretty good. I didn't get up. We've got a house up on the hill. It was my uncle's house, and so my cousin, she comes up, and she's attached to that place. It was her daddy's place, and she comes up and we'll go spend time there. I'll stay up there when I come hunting. It's not it's not much to the old house, but it's a place to. I could go lay my head in there and have a place to stay tonight. But obviously we turned the water and everything off, and I'm just going to the hotel. But we haven't stayed in the place in a couple of years, so linens need to be washed. Nothing in the fridge. I had to go to the grocery store. I don't care to do all that. This spot right here with this volleyball, this was whenever I was a kid. This was rows and rows of corn and peas. And then these were, let's see, right there on that hill with a couple of fruit trees. And it seemed like at one time this was fruit, a fruit tree. Obviously it's not a fruit tree anymore. This thing got taken over. I had you right in my face. That one was too. So anyhow, let me tell you about what kind of day I had. Burned up, didn't fill my ice chest. Brought an ice chest. Didn't put anything in it this morning. Didn't get any ice. So I was out here burning up. Time about 3 o'clock, I said I couldn't take it anymore. I had to go into town and get me something to drink. And that took me about an hour and a half break, just cooling down. Hot, I was in that air conditioning. But like I said, I keep having to get out and get stuff untangled and whatnot. And so it was a long, hard day of work at 3 o'clock. And so I took me a break. And I got back on the tractor and decided I was going to go on. And since I got this side done, and this whole section down here, I'll show you that when I get back to the truck. I got that section done. And so I come up here. Let's see, the property has, let's see, this area and that area is 2. And this area is 3. And then there's a fenced area 4, fenced area 5, and fenced area 6 where the house is. So I got 6 sections on this property. And well, I got 2 of them. The 2 smaller. This other is it started on the 3rd, which is the smallest. This 3rd one. And well, threw a belt on the tractor. All of a sudden I started smelling a little hot. What's that? Got out, old belt was smoking. Old house, well, that's a highway right there. That's where the old house was, behind that cedar. And then up through right there, you can see. That's the old house place road. And this is just the pasture. You can see the power lines there. That goes up to the camp, to the house on the hill. So this is the old house place road that I gotta get cleaned out and gravel in. Unfortunate, the neighbor has helped keep it dragged down some, where you can drive on it. But thankful for that for sure. But it needs some work. It needs some maintenance. So we're gonna get some of that stuff done. And I'll let y'all watch. But so once the belt went to smoke, I got off, seen his belt smoking, and then I just sure enough, air conditioning quit blowing cold, and I was in high speed back to the truck. So I thought I was just gonna be leaving my tractor here tonight like I normally would, but nope. We's on down here. I'll save showing y'all the rest of the stuff some other time. I've been talking for 18 minutes here, 15 minutes, 18 minutes. But anyhow, I had to get the truck, spit it out, Jeff. I had to get the tractor loaded back up. Man. So I'm all loaded up, ready to go. I'm gonna go to the hotel, and then in the morning head to the tractor place. And while I'm there, I'm gonna see about getting one of them bush hogs for the front of the tractor, for that front loader. And I can get some of that stuff off on the bank and that stuff, you know. Anyhow, that's how my day went. Got another building. I don't know if you can see this. Look, let's see. Here. Let me go over here, let me show you. Got another building right there. It ain't much of nothing. In fact, that building there got put in about, you probably can't hear me for this truck. That's why I was standing up here. I got my air conditioning running. This and get ready to go. And then I had said to myself, Jeff, you said you was going to record a video. You was going to bring these folks along. And you didn't. You didn't. And so I was going to be a lie. And I didn't want to be a lie to you folks. So I got this old phone out and walked around here and show y'all a little bit of what I got done. It don't look like much on camera, but it took me all day. But, so, I won't be back over here bush hogging in the morning. I'll be trying to see if I can find a tractor shop that can get me repaired quickly so I don't have to cut my trip short. Hopefully it's just a belt. Maybe I can find someone that can get me in and out tomorrow. I'll give them an extra $100 or something. It'd be worth it for me to be able to get back on this tractor and get some work done while I'm up here. So, y'all keep up with me. I'll let y'all know how this comes out. But, we man down for now. We can't do nothing. I'll figure out a plan and something to keep me busy. But, that's it for today. Y'all, thanks for watching. Listen to me ramble, spin you around in circles. Didn't do nothing. Told you a little bit of my family history. That's about it. Which that probably ain't. I got way better history that's way more interesting than the stuff that I just told you. I've traced my family back into the 1400s from all the original countries. I got some family history. And this was just a little bit about this piece of property here. Y'all, thanks for watching. I'm going to go climb up in this AC. Go find me something to eat. And then go find my way up back to that hotel room, get me a shower. Y'all, thanks for watching. And I'm Jeff. This is the Great Outdoors. And we just be doing a little bit of everything around here. Anyhow, we'll see y'all next time. I'm gone.